Welcome, guys, to the official Pretotyping podcast, where we basically talk about everything to do with pretotyping. And so in this season, you will learn about different aspects of the methodology, hear from different pretotyping practitioners, and even see us try to make our own, all in the spirit of validating your idea with your own data. I'm Jonathan Sun.
And I'm Robert Skrobe.
So first off, though, tell me, Robert, how did you get into pretotyping?
I was standing in line in the Dallas DMV looking to get my license plates updated and browsing the web on my phone like I usually do for interesting articles, information. And I came across Alberto Savoya's presentation at Stanford about pretotyping, which is about 41 minutes long. I watched it so intently that I actually forgot I was standing in line, to the point where people were trying to get my attention to go up to the next person to basically give me the tags I needed. And from there, I just started inquiring, got the book right straight off, started reading about it, looked on the web for other people who are doing pretotyping, and the rest is pretty much history. I've been starting to employing it with a number of processes that I do internally at my company. We're making a part of the Global Virtual Design Sprint coming up in April. I'm heavily involved with the conversations that are happening online with pretotyping, especially on LinkedIn. So I'm pretty much putting myself at the center of any and all conversations that are happening about this methodology, because it's something that I'm finding a lot of value in with my own business. So that's me. But how about you, Jonathan? What's your story?
I came across it because I was a student entrepreneur at the University of Washington, and I was trying to, and I think this was when I was building out when I was building an app with a team, trying to match high school students to best fit universities using creative metrics and creative questions, such as like their personality and like kind of like what kind of environments they wanted to be in, and like the things that they valued at most out of university. I was hunting for different ways as to how to validate my idea, I think, or how to when I stumbled upon, I think, Pretotype It, which was Alberto's first book that came out before The Right It. When I read through it, I became really, really captivated, and at the same time, I felt a little bit, I was like, I couldn't believe that I didn't find out about it sooner, because at that point I had already, I pretty much did everything that Alberto Savoya told you not to do. Like, I basically started the whole idea because all of like my peers around me were just egging me on to try to like start it. And I basically built the entire thing. I thought opinion was skin in the game. And then I found out from Alberto Savoya that opinion is not skin in the game. And then, and by that time I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I found out about it too late. But but I told myself when I was done working on this startup, I would like do everything that I could to, try to learn as much as I could about pretotyping and evangelize it to other people. So that was kind of like my beginning. I gradually learned more and more about it. And then, and I even had the idea to start something like Exponentially until I found Exponentially. And then the rest was history. Like, I started talking with Leslie, and Leslie kind of gave me some ideas and mentoring as to how to help others learn about pretotyping and hopefully make some money off of it. So that's kind of like my intro. So Robert, where did pretotyping come from? Like, what's the history behind it?
You've got me. I don't know. I actually do know, but it's a bit extended. I can give you the Cliff Noted version that it was originally concepted back in 2010. Alberto is probably going to get on my case about this because I don't know the exact history. I do know that it was a concept that was created and distributed online through a PDF called, I believe it was called the Pretotyping Manifesto was one of them, or was Pretotype It was called. The Pretotyping Manifesto came along with it, where it was literally the application of the scientific method to exploring why products in the marketplace and the desirability of those particular products. Fast forward to about a decade after going through a lot of iterations, teaching at Stanford, having partners to work with, he published the book, The Right It. It came out in 2019, I believe, had a bunch of YouTube videos to support that. And that's pretty much where we are today.
Yeah, I think I think you nailed a pretty decent part of it. The only things I would add to that are probably that I remember that he started at Google because I think what happened was that and Alberto, if you can correct us later on if you're listening to this, but I believe what happened is that Alberto started getting a little bit cocky, like, towards, I think, his second or third starts because he had a really, really good exit. I think his first startup sold for like 100 million. I believe he was working for Sun Microsystems. Was I right or wrong? Wasn't he a Sun Microsystems co-founder or like another startup? I forgot which one.
I'm not sure actually.
Okay. But anyway, he got a little bit cocky after his first startup. And so like after the second or third, he I think he didn't get the results that he quite wanted. And so that's kind of when he started investigating into failure a little bit more. I think due to those experiences with not having as good of a result as he wanted with his subsequent startups after his 100 million exit. And then I think he started developing it as an engineering director at Google. Then he quit after that to then pursue and evangelize pretotyping full time.
Sounds about right. So, if you decide to subscribe to this podcast, we're going to be interviewing people that are active pretotypers, that are kind of exploring it currently, that are using it within their own workplaces, and are also experimenting with the process with other said methodologies to produce the outcomes that they're looking for. We're also going to be tracking who's going to be doing pretotypes throughout the year. I myself will be doing a pretotype per month. So if me and Jonathan get together and talk about pretotyping in general, I'll have that to basically run at the ready. But that's kind of like my own kind of personal goal with this year is to kind of do a pretotype every month, showcase what it's all about, showcase the results at the end, and see where that goes. So Jonathan, what are you planning on doing in 2021 for pretotyping?
I'm planning on hosting workshops with accelerators, evangelizing it to as many people as possible via podcasts and different videos, both through this podcast and through other people's podcasts. As well as I think, like Robert mentioned, I would like to try to make a couple pretotypes of my own. I would say though that like I think kind of like the more mechanical versions, I probably wouldn't be as good at. Like, when there was like the guy who created like the Google Glasses prototype through like clipping a camera to like his lenses or something like that, and tried to make a Google Glasses prototype. So I probably wouldn't be as good at doing that. But I think I think it would be cool to try out like a couple prototypes related to like, either doing like a fake door for something or like trying to do a facade for something, or even trying to do one of those like relabel prototypes where like you rip off the label of an existing product and replace it on your own. So I'm looking forward to doing one of those. I think on an upcoming video that I will be doing for this YouTube channel called Generation Z Talks. So looking forward to it.
And when is that supposed to come out?
So I think we're going to be doing a shoot for that in February. And then hopefully if we can get a decent turnaround time on editing, we should get that out around February or March. So stay tuned.
Sounds good. So if you like what you heard so far and you're interested in hearing more of us in the future, this short introduction is in itself a prototype. So the way we're going to be able to figure out if you've got skin in the game for what we're going to be doing is to subscribe on your favorite platform for listening to podcasts, whether it's iTunes. Well, it's in iTunes. It doesn't exist anymore. It's like music now, but you can subscribe through Apple Podcasts. You can go on Spotify and subscribe there. We're eventually, I think, going to be putting this on Anchor, so we'll be able to see subscriptions as well. But do reach out to us if you have any questions, or if you know of anybody we should be talking to about pretotyping, you can send those in. The best way to get a hold of me in particular is just to find me on LinkedIn. Last name is Skrobe, and you can message me direct. I'm always into networking. For folks that want to get in touch with you, Jonathan, where should they go?
Definitely through LinkedIn's a great channel. If you're part of the Pretotyping Slack channel and you'd like to be part of our podcast, shoot me a DM through Slack. I think that works as well. Pretty much, I'm available through a variety of different social media channels. So Twitter, Instagram. So just feel free to reach me out anywhere that makes you feel comfortable.
So hopefully we'll see you in a future podcast. If you have any questions for us, do reach out. Otherwise, looking forward to talking about prototyping and kind of making more of these podcasts.
Absolutely.